Hey guys, I'm Pick, and today we're going to be discussing a new strategy involving the newly released mythical Pokemon, HOOPA. HOOPA has amazing abilities that can transport the entire team around the map, leaving the enemy absolutely no time to react. I really have a good feeling that this Pokemon is going to be completely changing the meta of the game. It's going to be really good for the game. Um, in this video, I'm going to be playing Venusaur in the jungle, while my good friend SoLow plays Hoopa in the bottom lane. If you want to see the same game played from the Hoopa's perspective, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description to his channel, where he's going to be dropping the video of that. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe so that I can keep making this stuff for you. Alright, now let's get right into the video. Okay, here we are in the match now. I'm picking the Bulbasaur build with Giga Drain and Petal Dance. We're going to be using Muscle Band, Focus Band, and Buddy Barrier. I'm going to go ahead in here for a jungle rotation. I want to make sure that my rotation for the jungle ends up on the top lane. The most important part of this is that we need to keep the Lucario on the other team or the top laner down in level, so they're not as important in the middle of the dread fights. So here I am taking the Ludicolo, and I'm going to go over to my next buff. The reason why I take my buffs first is because I want these buffs to spawn as soon as possible. These buffs are on a minute timer, so the faster you kill the buffs, the faster they come back for you. The reason I use Muscle Band is because Muscle Band allows you to auto attack during the Giga Drain Petal Dance build. That'll allow you to do a lot more damage. The Focus Band is there for sustain, to make sure that you are not being knocked out in important situations, because a lot of this strategy requires you not to be knocked out. You're going to want to keep your points on you. You're going to want to keep your level lead. You don't want to feed the enemy team. Now here I come for the top lane gank. I hid in the bushes, and I saw the Pikachu coming up top. The Lucario was there, so we were able to gank the Lucario. We're getting most of the bees here. The bees spawn at 850. You want to make sure that you at least make it at top lane, so then you can get as much of that contested experience as humanly possible. And then now that the bees are gone and I see that my jungle buffs are popping back up, I'm going to run back to the jungle. Now with this rotation, I'm also going to try to end this rotation heading towards the top lane. The big deal with this is that Hoopa being in the bottom lane actually allows us to double gank the top lane, because Hoopa's ability, Hyperspace Hole, can actually send our teammates back to base for a quick second so they can fully heal their health bar. It gives us a huge advantage down in the bottom lane, and it helps them hold up. Alright, now you're going to see me heading towards this top lane, so then we can keep the Lucario down in level. My overall goal when we are ganking top lane twice is I don't want this Lucario to get to level 7, because once it becomes level 7, it gets close combat, and close combat can totally destroy a strategy. It's just one of the most OP moves in the entire game, I gotta be honest. So now I see the Lucario in the bushes, and I go and be a little bit aggressive there so then I can push it back away, because the 720 Bs are about to pop up. If I can zone this Lucario, it will give us a huge level lead, and you can see here that I'm level 8 and our Machamp is level 6. So we could have done a little bit better in the lane farm, but we also get the gank on the Lucario again. So now I'm going to go ahead, and the Hoopa actually allows us to teleport from the top lane to the bottom lane by dropping the Hyperspace Hole onto the goal. So this creates a huge rotation possibility, so you can stay up the top lane and farm as much as possible first. Now what I'm trying to do here is I want to go ahead and zone the enemy team while my teammates are taking the Dreadnought. And the Hyperspace Hole is huge because it gives me that huge heal right before I come back into the battle. I was able to use my Unite move because I hit level 9 and they weren't level 9, so that gave us the advantage in the Dread fight. Now the most important thing here is you want to make sure that you break at least one goal before the second Dreadnought. The reason behind this is the tier 2 goals are very, very important to the strategy right after the second Rotom, because you want to be able to make sure that you're able to dunk on base in the late game. So now here what we're going to do is we're going to Hyperspace Hole up into the second level so we can try and get this Rotom now so we can put more lane pressure on. Now, when I get to the top lane, I'm going to go back to doing what I do best, and I'm going to go ahead and zone the enemy team because I do outlevel them so much, while the rest of my team goes ahead and chips away at Rotom. We know that we're zoning them well, so we're able to take Rotom here. Once Rotom's going forward, we know that they're on their heels at this point. So now HOOPA creates a hyperspace hole here, and I go back and I get my health again. And then I come right back into the battle because now we can go ahead and push the Rotom. You want to dunk as much as possible here because you want to get that pressure where you can break another goal. Now, this is where the strategy gets versatile. You can take this either one of two ways now. You can either go ahead and turn this into a team fight composition, or you can decide that you want to go with a score strat composition. So now, if you want to be doing the score strat, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to acquire as much AOS energy as possible because you need to be able to make sure that you can break tier 2 when the time comes. So here I come, going through my jungle again, and this time I want to end my jungle rotation down towards the bottom because you can see the timer spawns there, and we have 15 seconds until Dread when I finish my jungle up. Now we're going to position for a team fight. We caught these two out of position, and they're uniting, but I already have my unite back because I was farming and I was trying to get as much AOS energy as possible. We decided we're going to take it the score comp this time. So we're going to go ahead and put some pressure on them, and we actually get 3 KOs here. So now we're going to be able to take their experience, and we're going to go back to the Dreadnought fight. Now here we notice that our Charizard's low on health, so we're going to send him back to base because it is very, very important that you don't die here. For one, you don't want to feed, and for two, you want to make sure that you hold on to all your AOS energy.
They're all here.
So this Dreadnought, you can retreat if you need to. You cannot die because here the HOOPA uses its Unite move and drags all 5 members of our team up to their top base. Now they cannot react fast enough because what they have to do is they have to recall to base, which takes longer than it does for all of us to score with all 5 of us standing on base. Now here's where we're able to snowball because we're able to take the enemy's farm, and then we're going to be heading up towards Rotom. We know that we just wiped out some of their team as they jumped on top of us, so we feel confident going for the Rotom here. Now, the Rotom is going to create lane pressure, and that's very important at this point in the game because what we need to do is we need to maintain our level lead in farm while they're busy taking care of the Rotom because we need AOS energy. So we get as much AOS energy as we can at this point. I'm going to go ahead and retreat because I cannot die here because I'll be feeding them. They'll get a ton of XP from me. I'm going to head back to my jungle. As you can hear, SoLow is calling right now for all of us to go back and get as much AOS energy as we can so then we can make one final push here.
Instead of berries, it brings points.
Yeah, because they're out of berries right now.
Any points?
I think those bees are up there still.
You sure?
I got 39 points right
The
now.
Venusaur's scoring up top, but it doesn't have enough points where it's going to make a huge difference in our strategy. We see the Lucario coming down for me, but I'm a level 14 Venusaur, and there's not really much they can do about it. I have Focus Band on, I have a Potion as my battle item, and I have a Buddy Barrier for the 600 extra HP, so at level 15, it's going to be very hard to take me out. Now here, we're taking advantage of the numbers because we send our HOOPA up to the top lane to scout and see where their enemy team is. We come to the conclusion that we have 3 people at the Zapdos pit along with us because we can see the Blastoise there. So we're going to go over here and we're going to try and dance around a little bit to make them think that we're positioning for the Zapdos fight.
I got you.
Now here's the big point. A Unite move by HOOPA gets us all to the enemy base. I'm able to Unite move, and we're all able to score here because of the fact that we tricked them into thinking that we were going to go for Zapdos. We knew we had a sizable lead at this point because the enemy team had 3 bases down and we only had 1 base down, so we felt confident avoiding the Zapdos and just going for the scores with the Unite move. Now, the most important part here, if you do lose Zapdos, is that you should try to take at least one of their team out. Because if you can stop 100 points, you're almost guaranteed to win. It's GG's. Now here you're going to see us all head back. I was knocked out, but the rest of the team's all back.
We're just 2 of us.
They scored 100 points there, and we still have huge point lead. Plus 68, that's not enough to overtake the huge point lead, because huge point lead means over 100 points.
So now just defend.
So now here we're just going to defend for the rest of the match,
Hold on. I'm actually
Two
gonna try
down.
something.
Me and Charlie
and it's
here.
game over.
Oh, no, you're not. No,
For those of you who've stuck around this whole time, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the strategy. Did you try it with your friends? Did it work out for you? Do you have any thoughts on how to make this strategy more efficient? Just go ahead and drop a comment down below. Please make sure that you remember to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching.